Welcome to Over 50 and Frank, the podcast that says the quiet things out loud. I'm Shannon, also known as Frank, when I drop the filter. And around here, we talk about aging, menopause, wellness, and life after 50 with honesty, humor, and zero apologies. If you're over 50 and crave real talk, pull up a chair and send this to a friend. Today's episode sits at the intersection of two topics so many women are navigating at the same time: GLP-1 medications and perimenopause. I'm joined again by Dr. Myra Med from Mochi Health, and we are unpacking how perimenopause affects weight, metabolism, and how your body responds to GLP-1 meds during perimenopause and menopause. This conversation is about understanding what's happening in your body so you can make informed choices without blame, shame, or outdated advice. Let's get into it.
Dr. Myra is back, and we best know Dr. Myra as the founder of Mochi Health. What is your official title?
CEO.
CEO. I was going to say that, but then I just, I didn't want to mistitle you.
No, you're good.
So a lot of women stop me because I've lost 60 pounds through the help of Mochi Health on GLP-1 meds. And they're just like, oh my gosh, you've lost weight. I'm having so many problems with losing weight. They're using things like Ozempic and Zepbound and semaglutide. And then there's new ones that are coming out or in clinical trials. How do these medications affect the hormones and the symptoms of menopause?
Fat cells also hold estrogen and testosterone. So part of losing weight also releases all of the hormones that are trapped in those cells and can help kind of bring you back to your normal levels of estrogen and androgens in general. A lot of people who take these medications experience differences in sleep or see their cycles resume or all kinds of things that are normally associated with hormone health, partially because of that.
I noticed that I was sleeping better after I lost weight. And Myra had a little bit of sleep apnea. My husband definitely has sleep apnea and sleeps with a CPAP. And I've been telling him, you need to take these meds. I mean, this isn't a podcast about men, but sleep apnea. I might have had a little sleep apnea, and I definitely slept better. I noticed that my joint pain was definitely gone. And I've noticed other people that inflammation, and it's not just inflammation in your hip, but it's just inflammation altogether. We kind of talk about, you're more sciencey talking than I am about it, but the menopause and inflammation, is there a correlation there?
Menopause is associated with estrogen and progesterone changing levels in your body, which can have a lot of impact on your bone and bone turnover, and also just bone inflammation in general. And so I think there's a lot of people, there's kind of an uptick in a lot of autoimmune diseases around the start of menopause age and these other side effects of weakening joints in general.
For example, I have a friend that has mast cell, and she started microdosing. She's also the same age as me, and she started microdosing, and she ended up stopping because she had a reaction, but they found the reaction wasn't the GLP-1s, it was something else. And so she's going back to doing that. But I have a friend with fibromyalgia that feels way better. I feel like there's another friend of mine that it has an autoimmune disorder. I don't think it's Crohn's. I might be wrong. But it's there's so many autoimmune things that pop up. I will say, so I have vitiligo on which isn't inflammation, but I have vitiligo right here, and it stopped when I started taking GLP meds. I don't know.
I have a family member that has rheumatoid arthritis, and they had the same experience where they actually needed to stop taking their RA meds because their inflammation was just so much better and their joint pain was just so much better with GLP-1s. So
I have kids that have neuroinflammation, and I often wonder, would a GLP-1 help? I've Googled it, but it doesn't necessarily come up in anything, but that's for another podcast. Yeah. So can women safely use GLP-1s and HRT together?
Yes, absolutely. A lot of our patients do.
What kind of results are you seeing because of it?
I kind of call it the Benjamin Button because their skin is improving, they're losing weight, they're seeing so many improvements in their health and their sleep quality and their mood changes, and everything.
When I started, I had tried so many different things that I didn't take before pictures because I was like, this isn't gonna work. And now I'm so mad at myself that I didn't take before pictures. I did take some pictures 2 years prior to that, so I always use those for my before pictures. But it's I didn't believe myself, and so my really good friend just started taking Ozempic, and I was like, take the before pictures. Take them, because I just didn't believe it was going to work. And it totally...
I think you have to take before pictures if you know it's going to work, but I think so many people hesitate about this, right? Like they're not used to how much of an improvement it's going to cause.
Yeah. So for a woman listening who feels like she's doing everything right, but her body isn't responding, what's your best advice?
I think you should sign up for Mochi and talk to a provider, right? I think it could be any number of things, and I think that for a lot of women, it is a combination of they've been trying all of the nutrition and lifestyle modifications for a long time, and they want to take the next step and try something medication-based.
I love that. So for a woman that is in perimenopause that wants to start a GLP-1, besides the GLP-1, I call it the starter pack. What 5 things? There's probably 20. What 5 things would you suggest that woman have as a tool?
A really good water bottle, because I think staying hydrated and making sure that you're still drinking water throughout the day is huge. Yeah. Magnesium is one thing that a lot of patients really swear by because there's some GI side effects that are associated with these medications. They can be really helpful. And then ginger chews, because like people, especially when they're starting medication, can have like nausea type symptoms. So that would be my key 3. Everybody is going to have a different 5 and 20, but
yeah.
Oh, and then probably the protein powder.
Oh, the protein powder. Okay, so back to magnesium. Which form of magnesium?
There's many. There's one that Costco has that is like a chewable that people seem to like a lot. It's like a gummy. I think it's really whichever one you're going to eat.
Like I've got one recently that had citrate.
Yeah, there's an oxalate and a citrate and there's many different forms, and I don't know if it matters very much. I think it's the one that you're going to eat.
I would also add something that wasn't told to me. So my backstory is I used an app to do Monjaro savings coupon, and the telehealth company I was with, like all they did was prescribe it through the app, and so I didn't have anybody to ask questions through, and I found out all these starter pack things. I call it the starter pack. Like when I joined Mochi, I didn't know I was supposed to be taking a multivitamin. I didn't know I was supposed to be, well, I knew water for sure. I didn't know weights, and then I kind of learned on TikTok like the magnesium thing, but there were like so many things I didn't know. I didn't have the other thing is everybody was asking me about nausea, and I never had nausea. Maybe like the first day I did.
Really?
Yeah, I never did.
You've been like side effects, but you're like one of the very lucky.
I might have had like maybe like the morning, because I would take mine at night, and then people were like, you take it at night? Oh my gosh, like how did you sleep? And I'm just like, I just didn't have any issues with it. I still don't. Might have been like maybe that morning, just kind of like maybe feeling sick to my stomach, but if I ate something I felt fine. It was really kind of weird, but I always tell people lift weights, take a multivitamin, and protein. Nobody talked to me about those things. I just was like, that's my starter pack. So I just saw that Mochi is doing microdosing. I just saw an email come through. I haven't really researched it that much, but can you kind of talk about that and what that means? Is that going to be for weight loss? Is that going to be for autoimmune management?
Yeah, microdosing is for anybody who needs GLP-1s outside of strictly obesity. So that can be people who need these medications for any kind of autoimmune condition, people who are not meeting criteria for obesity but are still looking to lose weight and want to go for a much smaller dose. It's kind of everything else in this bucket. And it's really about tailoring the dose for each patient. A lot of people who are not taking it for obesity don't need to take as much. So even if they're taking it once a week, they're taking a much lower dose. And so it's more about connecting those patients with providers who can kind of talk to them and counsel them about about microdosing and about finding the right dose for them.
I love that. I feel like GLP-1s, I was telling my husband, it's a miracle. It's like kind of like a miracle drug. It's also the wild, wild west of it too. And, before people would say to me, like 3 years ago at Christmas, somebody said to me like, oh, you're just going to gain all the weight back. And then now like that I'm 2 years at my maintenance weight, now it's like, how do I get on this? It's like the same people are asking these things. And I think it's crazy. And like I said, I have a friend with mast cell who's microdosing it, and I literally forwarded her the email, like, you call Mochi. So yeah.
There's so many other benefits that we haven't seen yet, right? Opiate use disorder, people with another addiction, like so many other things that can be useful for.
Did I see that there's a new drug that Eli Lilly is working on that's for specifically alcohol and drug abuse?
Yes. So I think a lot of the other GLP-1s in their pipeline, they're hoping to use for other conditions. So they're hoping that orforglipron and retatrutide can be used for maintenance and for higher dose people who need a stronger GLP-1 in general. all of them should work for addiction.
Well, I barely drink anymore. So
Yeah.
I was probably like a 3-4 glass of wine person a week. I mean, this doesn't seem like
Yeah.
much, but now I think I might have 1 glass of wine a month. I did a video on my Instagram where I was drinking fresh hot beer, which is my favorite, and I got a taster tray and I didn't even drink all of them. So my husband like split it with me, but
It changes your craving so much. Like, you didn't want it.
yeah, I will say, and I saw this on TikTok and then I was like, dude, I'm guilty of that. I replaced that addiction with perfume addiction. I don't like it's really weird, and like some other people were like, oh my gosh, so did I, and I saw this video and then I was like, oh yeah, I totally
Of like wearing more perfume or wanting to have more perfume?
Wanting to have more perfume, or that
Okay.
I don't, it's just like I can't explain it, and it didn't start until then. Like, so for Christmas, the last 2 Christmas, my kids are like, which perfume do you want? Like, Sephora's having a sale right now, and I also buy like the little minis at places like Anthropology and things like that, and I'll like really like something and then I'll tell my kids like, for Christmas give me that one, but Sephora's having their sale and I was like, I know which one I'm gonna get. So let's do lightning round. So what is the biggest myth you wish people would stop believing about GLP-1s?
That they're unsafe or that they're cheating.
I love that. I still get the is it safe thing, and I even get that from like my husband.
It's so condescending. Like, I think it's gone down a lot with more people taking these medications, but it's just so condescending for no reason. Like,
I think my husband's is more like he just is worried that it's not safe, but then I'm just like, dude, I'm still here. So, and my labs look great. So, and things like that. And I'm like, maybe you should do it for your sleep apnea, stuff like that.
yeah.
What's one daily habit that makes the biggest difference for losing weight?
Sleep. Consistent sleep schedules. Good sleep. High quality sleep.
And then, so finish this sentence. Women in midlife losing weight need to know that.
GLP-1s are a good option. It's just another tool in your toolkit. It's not right for everybody, but I think it can be a great option for a lot of people.
It is a great option. I have so many friends now that when I first started taking it, I had so many like side questions about it. And now it's like I'll be out in public and it's not really a side question. It's like, oh, I started thanks to you. Or I will get, text messages from people that I would never, suspected of doing that, taking a GLP-1, asking me like, what program do you use for weightlifting, or what's your favorite protein, or how do you get your protein in? A lot of people ask me that. I was doing that before the GLP-1s, but yeah. Well, Dr. Myra, thank you. I would love to have you on again if it's appropriate. I just have been following you for years. You were one of the first GLP-1 experts, thought leaders that I started following, and I knew that when I needed to switch companies, Mochi was going to be the one for me. So thank you for being here.
Of course. Thank you.
Thanks so much for listening to Over 50 and Frank. If today's conversation resonated with you, I'd love it if you'd follow the show, leave a review, or share this episode with a friend who needs to hear it. You can find links, resources, and everything we talked about in the show notes. I'm Shannon, and I'll be back next week with more candid conversations about style, wellness, and life after 50.